Hey boys and girls, today we're going to be doing a bit of a review about 2D shapes and their attributes. And we're going to do that by looking for shapes in our environment. If you remember yesterday during our class meeting, we asked you to find some shapes in the environment that are around your house that were 2D and 3D shapes. Today we're going to review the different 2D shapes that we've talked about and also some of their attributes. Remember, attributes are the way that we know how they are different. Things like sides and vertices or corners, whether it's a closed or open shape. So if you take a look at this house I have here, right away I can see that I have some 2D shapes. Do you see this one right here? What do you notice? If you said it's a square, you're right, and I see there's another one here. What if I took my pen and I drew right on here? Oops, not very neat because it's hard to do that with the mouse. But you get the idea. You see that? What shape is that? You said a triangle. You are right. But what about this, the curlicues from the smoke? Is that a shape that we talked about? No. First of all, these are all open. They're not closed shapes. In order for it to be a 2D shape, remember, it has to be a closed shape. It cannot be open at any point. See, these are closed. This one's closed. These are open, and they're just squiggly lines. So those don't really work. All right. So let's take a look at this one. It says, what is the shape and how do you know? What shape is this, boys and girls? It's a triangle. If you said triangle, you are right. I'm going to type it and I'm going to put it right in here. I know it is a triangle because it has how many sides? Okay, let's find out. 1, 2, 3. So it has 3 sides. And how many vertices? You remember that word vertice? Vertice means the corner. It's like the part of the table, if you bump on it, you hurt yourself. That's what a vertice is. Let's circle the vertices. 1, 2, 3. So it has 1, 2, 3 sides and 1, 2, 3 vertices. That's how we know it is a triangle. I'm going to copy this number and I'm going to paste it right over here. Let's read our whole sentence. I know it is a triangle because it has 3 sides and 3 vertices. What about this? What shape is this, boys and girls? And how do we know? I'm going to move this down a little bit, or move our screen down a little bit so you can see all of it. What shape is that and how do you know? If you said a square, you are right. Let's type it, square. There's a square right there. I know it's a square because it has blank sides and blank vertices. How many sides does this have? The sides are the long pieces. How many sides does it have? How many vertices or corners does it have? Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. So if you said 4 sides and 4 vertices, you are correct. That is why it's a square. That is one of the reasons we call it a square. Another reason we call it a square is, I don't know if you've noticed, but all of the sides are the same length. They are the same size. Exactly. That's another part of what makes this a square. Now let's take a look at this one. It says, what is the shape and how do you know? What is the shape and how do you know? Okay, So think back to this one. We know that one's a square. It has 4 sides and 4 vertices or corners. Let's see how many, first of all, what is this? It doesn't have equal sides, but it does have 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and 1, 2, 3, 4 corners or vertices. But 2 of the sides are longer than the other 2, so it's not a square. If you said rectangle, you are right. Rectangle. Rectangles have 4 sides and 4 vertices too, but 2 of the sides are longer than the other. So we're going to go ahead and fill in our chart. Okay, let's move on. Okay, what shape is this? And how do you know? I don't see any sides on this. I don't see any corners either. If this was a table, I wouldn't hurt myself if I went by it really quickly. Ah, it must be a circle. That's right. Circles don't have sides. It is a circle because it has 0 sides and 0 vertices. All right, I know you're doing well. Let's keep going. What about these shapes? These are a little different than the ones we just talked about. How would you describe their attributes? And by that I mean, how many sides and how many vertices? So let's take a look at this one. This is a half circle. It has one side here, but then there's no side there. There really aren't corners exactly because these are rounded edges. So we would say this doesn't have any corners, but it has maybe one side. So this is our half circle. This, how many sides does this shape have? Or this shape? Let's start with this one. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what, boys and girls, when you're trying to count sides, if you might lose track of how many there are, so you can mark it with a pencil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that way I know that I've already counted the side and won't count it again. So there's 5 sides, and let's count how many vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We call that, this shape with 5 sides and 5 vertices, a pentagon. I'm going to type it right here. Pentagon. All right. Now, this one has one more side than that one. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. Do you know what this is called? Starts with an H. Hexagon. Hexa means 6. Penta means 5 in Greek. Gon is a shape. Okay, so some of our language comes from other languages. That's where we got pentagon and hexagon. Do you know what this is called? Sometimes we see 2 of these in a classroom pushed together. 2 of these sides are the same side, but these 2 are not the same size. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. How many vertices does it have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, do you give up? Do you know what it's called? It's called a trapezoid. 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 You can use 2 trapezoids to make one of these hexagons if you have those pattern blocks like we use in the classroom. So this one right here, Do you remember what this is called? It's often blue, the ones that we have in the classroom. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides and 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices or angles. We call it a rhombus. And I'm going to go ahead and label our half circle since I didn't do that earlier. Okay. See if we can find some shapes that are in a picture. Okay. It says when you're looking for in the shapes in the environment or things around you or shapes around you, you need to remember the rules to describe each shape. So if I was looking on this playground equipment here, and I'm going to bring the screen down just a bit more so you can see, and I was trying to see if I could find some squares, I have to remember the attributes. The attributes of a square are it has 4 equal sides and 4 vertices or corners. Can you find the square in this playground equipment right here? There's more than one, I think. Let's see. It says click the squares to see if you're right. Did you find them? I see at least 2. Let's find them. I think I see one here. And I think I see one here. This one's not, oh, they're making a circle. I thought there was a bigger square over here. They made a little square in here. Let's see, is there any other ones? Did I miss any? Those are all the ones I think I can see so far. At least 2. Let's try one more. Are you ready? We're going to this time look for rectangles. It says a rectangle has 4 sides. The 2 sides across from each other are equal. It has 4 vertices, and something we haven't talked about yet is 4 right angles. That just means you can put a square inside the inside of each corner. So there's 2. So remember, rectangles has 4 sides. 2 are longer than the other. Okay. So let's see. Do you see any rectangles in this room? Where are they? Okay. Let's see. That must be, let's have a square there. Find a rectangle. There's a rectangle. Can we find any other rectangles? Oh, there's another rectangle. Do you find any more? All right. Well, boys and girls, now what I'd really like you to do is I'd like you to go hunting in your house. You ready? I want you to look for some of those 2D shapes in your house, just like we found in the pictures, okay? Sometimes we can do this in a classroom. Of course, we're not in our regular classroom. And the last time I did this with my students, we did this in a classroom. But you can look around your house and then share your answers with us. These are some of the things that we found that were shaped like a triangle, a square, a rectangle, and a circle. Okay, like a crayon is kind of like a triangle on top, the top of the ceiling, or a carpet. Square is like a square. Bricks in the wall are like a rectangle. Somebody had a clock. That was like a circle. We talked about clocks. And then some things at home that are shaped like a triangle, square, rectangle, circle. Some people said the corner of a bed, a play table, it's just like a square, a regular table is like a rectangle, a basketball is like a circle. I'm going to ask you to find some things. I'm going to put up an extra sheet so you can try to do it at home. And I hope you have fun looking for some shapes at home. Happy shape hunting!